Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Drogs from Fully Painted Miniatures, and I've been doing a series of solo playthroughs for Aeons End, 2nd edition. I've gone through all of the base nemesises on normal difficulty, and now I'm going through trying to defeat them on expert difficulty, which is really hard. This is my 5th attempt at trying to defeat the Rageborne. His increased difficulty rules. So normally with the Rageborne, he gains Fury tokens whenever he unleashes. This has a lot of cards and abilities that give him Fury tokens. And anytime he has 4 or more Fury tokens, he gets to pull an extra card from a strike deck, which does damage usually directly to a player or to Gravehold. And then after he strikes, you remove 3 Fury tokens from him. But in expert difficulty, you only remove 1. So it sounds like a small difference, but it makes a massive difference. In normal, he's a pretty easy boss. On expert, he's just been eating my lunch day in, day out. It's pretty easy for a situation to compound and him to end up with 5 or 6 Fury tokens, and then he strikes 2 or 3 times in a row and just knocks you around. So the first 4 times I went up against him, I was using randomizers, and I never even got close to getting him to half health, and I never survived a round once he got to his tier 3 nemesis cards. So this time I actually picked my cards. So we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. Hopefully I do a little bit better. If it doesn't work, I may mix up the mages, change up the store, but I'll pick them again from now on until I win. My reasoning is I don't think I'm going to do the randomizers anymore on expert difficulty. I think they're great for normal difficulty. I highly recommend them because it got me to use every single card in the game, and it got me to use them in combinations I would never have picked, and sometimes in combinations that you shouldn't pick. But I learned a lot, and I definitely learned some good uses or good situations for certain cards that I never would have given a chance to otherwise. So it definitely speeds up, I feel like, your learning of the game. But when it gets to expert difficulty, this is really a solo game at its heart. It's a solitaire game. And there is a puzzle here. And the puzzle is how to defeat, and trying to defeat that Rageborne on expert difficulty with random spells is just not going to happen unless you happen to get the correct set. So I don't know if this is the way to do it, but I went with some very cheap spells. They gave me a lot of utility. I'll go through them in a minute. But I feel like it's going to give me a fighting chance at least. They're not specifically targeted to Rageborne. I just feel like this is a really, really good, solid, all-around store. So I want to try it and see what works, and then I'll adjust from there. All right, so first, for our mages, I took Kadir, the Breach Mage Delver. She starts with an Emerald Shard, which is as your unique card. This is one of my favorites. It acts as a crystal, gains 1 power, or you can discard it to grant 1 life point to either player. So it's a heal. She also starts with 3 crystals and a spark in her hand. And then in her deck, she's going to have 3 crystals with 2 sparks. And then her special power, Otherworldly Gate. That player may return up to 3 spells from your discard pile to your hand, and then may prep them. And it allows up to 2 prep spells for each breach for that turn. So using that ability, you can pull 3 spells out and potentially have 8 spells prepped in your breaches all at once. So it just allows for really nice damage potential and getting to reuse your 3 best spells that are already in your discard pile. Now, as for her breaches, she's going to start with her first one open, her second at a 3 cost, her third at a 7, and her fourth at a 7. So that's pretty cheap as far as opening breaches go. Guys, no, we're not going to bark and cry. Did you lose one of your balls? Yeah, no, I'm not fighting over the ball. It's okay. Sorry about that, guys. My dogs are still getting used to me recording videos. It's gonna get better over time, but it's gonna take time. For my second, that's enough. For my second mage, I picked Lash, the Breach Mage Scout. His unique card, he starts with the Quartz Shard, which allows you, it acts like a crystal, you gain 1 power. It also, you reveal the top card of the Tornado deck. If it's a player card, you gain an additional power. So 2 out of 3 chance, 66%, to gain 2 power instead of 1. If it's a Nemesis card, though, you can take that card and then put that on the bottom of the deck. So even if that doesn't go off, the secondary effect, you still get a benefit from it. So it's always better than a crystal. Right? Whereas like this one, if she only generates the power, it's just a crystal. He also has 3 crystals and a spark, and then 3 crystals and 2 sparks on deck. His first breach is open, his second has a 3 cost, his third is a 9, and his fourth is a 7. Hey, that's enough. Okay, and then for our store, the first gem I took is a Jade. It's a 2-cost gem that generates 2 power. I also took a Vrisswood Amber. It's a 3-cost gem that generates 2 power. But when you gain this card, you may place it on top of your deck instead of in the bottom of your discard. And then I took, for a 4-cost, Searing Ruby. Generates 2 power, but also generates an additional power that can be used to gain a spell. Then for relics, I took 2-cost Flexing Dagger. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what the camera is exactly. Which allows you to focus a breach for 3 less power on your turn, or you can destroy it to deal 1 damage to any target. A 5-cost relic, Mage's Talisman, gain 1 charge, and ally also gains a charge. And then for my spells, I took the 3-cost spell Spectral Echo. This is basically an upgraded spark. Deal 2 damage, but you may destroy a card in your hand. I also took the 4-cost spell Ignite. Deal 2 damage, and ally gains 1 charge. And then a second 4-cost spell, Amplified Vision. Focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost. Deal 2 damage. If all of your breaches are open, deal 1 additional damage, so it turns into a 3 damage spell if all breaches are open. And then Chaos Arc. This is my only 6-cost card. It deals 3 damage and 2 additional damage for each prep spell and adjacent breach. So it can deal 3 damage, 5 damage, or 7 damage, potentially going up to 8 if it's in your 3rd breach with another spell in your 2nd and 4th. So the reason I took these cards is they're very cost effective, and that gives me a lot of utility. Jades, you can just get these really, really quickly, get a bunch of them, get a lot of power economy generating early. Searing Ruby, same thing. You're only paying a 4 cost to generate 3 power towards a spell. You can buy a Chaos Arc with just 2 Searing Rubies, for example. Both Flexing Dagger and Amplified Vision allow me to focus my breaches, which is great. Mage's Talisman and Ignites both give me charges. Spectral Echo lets me curate my deck. And then Chaos Arc is going to be a high damage spell that doesn't have crazy high cost, like using Dark Fire to discard cards or Consuming Void to destroy cards or something like that. And it's not a 7-cost attack either. So I have cheap gems that are going to get my economy going quickly. I have 2 ways to focus breaches, 2 ways to generate charges, 1 way to curate deck, and 1 way to generate pretty good damage. I would say this is a great starting setup for any boss. Like I said, it's not specifically geared at the Rageborne. It's just a very utilitarian deck. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you about Lash's special ability. Quicken Thought, activate during any player's main phase. They both, Otherworldly Gate can also work during either player's main phase. You can shuffle any player's turn order card back into the turn order deck. That player then suffers 1 damage. So using Emerald Shard can offset the damage from that. And what that allows me to do is if, say, I had already drawn a 2 for Lash, I had already used that turn, I can use that special ability to take that 2 and put it back in the turn order deck, giving Lash an extra activation, a 3rd activation for that round. So, she's going to let me cast more spells. Lash is going to let me have an extra activation. I got ways to generate charges, open breaches. I think I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so we're going to get this started and see how it goes. All right, everything's already been shuffled. All right, Nemesis is going to start. Nothing on the board. Unrelenting Ire. Unleash. If there are 2 Nemesis turn order cards in the turn order discard pile, unleash 2 additional times. Only unleashes once. Rageborne also starts with 1 Fury token. So that brings him up to 2. All right, next turn. Nemesis again. Nothing on the board. We get Eye of Nothing. To discard, spend 6 power. Power 2, unleash twice. So that's going to occur on the 2nd activation in the next round. So depending how the turn order goes, I should be able to get rid of that, but we will see. All right, then Kadir is going to go next. She's going to prep a Spark. No player has taken damage yet, so she's going to generate 4 power. Oh yeah, I didn't go through the store. The other reason I took these cards is it just gives me a lot of options at different power points. So if I have 2 power, for example, I can take a special ability charge. I could grab a Jade or a Flexing Dagger. At 3, I could grab a Vrisswood Amber or a Spectral Echo. At 4, which is what I have right now, in addition to gaining charges, I could grab a Searing Ruby. I could grab an Ignite, an Amplified Vision. I could also grab 2 Jades. I could grab 2 Flexing Daggers, or a combination of the 2 or a charge. At 5 cost, I could grab a Mage's Talisman. I could also grab a Vrisswood Spectral Echo combined with a Flexing Dagger or a Jade or a charge. And then at 6, I can grab a Chaos Arc or basically a combination of any other card, a 2 with a 4 or 3 2s or 2 3s. Any other card except for the Mage's Talisman. So it just gives me a lot of good mana options and then even more from there. So with 4 power, my options are 2 Jades, a Searing Ruby, 2 Flexing Daggers, Amplify Vision, or an Ignite. So already, right off the bat, I have some decent options. So I'm actually taking Amplify Vision first turn. Why not? I was going to take a Searing Ruby, but... And her next turn is going to be 3 crystals and 2 sparks. But Lash is going to go next. He's going to prep Spark. And then he's going to use the Court Shard. That makes him reveal. Okay, so next turn is him. So this is going to generate 5 power. So for 5 power... Interesting. I'm going to take a Jade and a Vrisswood. So he's going to have a Vrisswood, 3 crystals, and a Spark. And it is his turn next. He's going to cast a Spark. It's going to deal 1 damage to the Rageborne. He's going to prep a Spark. And then he's going to generate 5 power again. I'm going to do the same thing. Vrisswood and another Jade. Get his economy going pretty quick. So his next turn, he's going to have a Vrisswood, 3 crystals, and a Spark. Kadir goes next. She's going to cast Spark, do 1 damage to the Rageborne. Did I cast a spark already? Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. She's going to spend the 3 crystal to open the second breach and then prep 2 sparks. 2, 3, 4, 5. And her next hand, she's got Emerald Shard, 3 crystals, and an Amplify Vision. So not bad. Definitely better first turn, I would say, than most. I really like how many options I'm having right out the gate. I don't think you have time to build a large 30-card deck and slowly, just get all the gems and get your economy going and then choose all the cards you like. And it takes... You got to be a little quicker off the get than that. So we're going to start with Lash. We're going to cast Spark, do 1 damage to the Rageborne. He is going to prep Spark, and then he's going to generate 5 power. And with that 5 power, he's going to buy Spectral Echo and a Flexing Dagger. His next turn is going to have 2 Jades of Risswood, Quartz, and a Spark. So that's my 7 power. That's 7 power right there. Potentially 8. That will let me get rid of the Eye of Nothing as long as I get another activation with Lash before the second Nemesis activation. Kadir's going to go next. She's going to cast both Sparks, dealing 2 damage to the Rageborne. She's going to prep Amplify Vision. No one has taken any damage yet, so she's going to generate 4 power. And with 4 power, she is going to take Searing Ruby. Nemesis goes next. Her next cards are going to be 3 crystals, a spark, 2 sparks. Okay, first we take a power token off of Eye of Nothing. So that'll be coming up on his next activation. And then we get Invoke Carnage. It's another power card, power 7. Unleash, or 7 power to discard, sorry. Power 2, unleash. Any player suffers 1 damage. That player also suffers 1 additional damage for each Fury token that the Rageborne has. Not great. Okay. So, really hope I get a 2 before it's going to fit 50-50 shot. But we will see. All right, I'm going to cast Amplify Vision. That is going to do 2 damage, bring Rageborne down to 63, but it also focuses her breach. She is then going to prep both sparks, and then she generates 3 power. And with 3 power, she will buy a Spectral Echo. Her next turn, she's going to have a Spark, Searing Ruby, Emerald Shard, 2 crystals. And yes, Lash goes next. So he's going to cast off that Spark, dealing 1 damage, bringing him Rageborne down to 62. I've done more damage so far this game to the Rageborne than I have, ever. I don't know what the difference is. But it's a big difference. Prep a Spark. He's going to generate... These are worth 6. Quartz Shard is only worth 1. So he's generating 7 power. But I'm going to just spend all of that, essentially, to discard the Eye of Nothing. And that ends his turn. On Lash's next turn, he's going to have Spark, Spectral Echo, and 3 crystals. Nemesis is going to go next. You take a token off of the Invoke Carnage and draw a card. Unleash. Any player suffers 3 damage. So that brings Rageborne to 3 Fury tokens and draws a card. I'm going to have Lash take the 3 damage. Wait a second. 3, 4, 5. No, I'm going to have Kadir take the 3 damage. And she draws a card. That's a crystal. So 6. Not quite enough. But that's okay. It was worth a shot. I was hoping there was a jade or something in there. Okay. Kadir goes next. She's going to cast 2 sparks, doing 2 damage, bringing the Rageborne down to 60. I don't know why I'm doing so much damage this game. It's great. Prep that spark, and then this is going to generate. That's 3 power here, 2 here, 1 for a spell, and this can also generate power or gain a life. She's going to use that to gain a life point back, bring her back up to 8. And then this is worth 5 power, 6 towards a spell. So I'm actually going to take a Spectral Echo and a Verswood Amber. So that goes into her next. 1, 2, 3, 4. So her next hand is going to be Verswood Amber, 2 crystals, Spectral Echo, and an Amplified Vision. And Lash is going next. He's going to cast Spark, dealing 1 damage, bring the Rageborne down to 59. He is then going to spend 3 crystals, generate 3 power, and open his second breach. And then prep Spectral Echo and Spark. And his next turn is going to have 3 crystals, a Verswood, and a Flexing Dagger. Kadir goes next. She's going to cast Spark, do 1 damage to the Rageborne, bring him to 58. She's going to prep Spectral Echo and Amplify Vision, and then she generates 4 power. With the 4 power, she's going to take another Amplify Vision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn, Spectral Echo, 2 sparks, crystal, and charm. Nemesis goes next. So I did not get rid. That's enough. Hey guys, no bark, no yell. No. All right. I did not get to generate 7 power to get rid of Invoke Carnage. So it activates, causes an Unleash. So that brings Rageborne to 4 Fury tokens. Any player is then going to suffer 1 damage. That player also suffers actually 5 damage because of the 4 Fury tokens. So I'm going to have Lash take that. That brings him from 10 all the way down to 5. Not good. And then Rageborne also will strike. The players collectively discard the 2 most expensive prep spells. So that is going to be Amplify Vision. And then 1 of the Spectral Echoes. I will get rid of Lashes. Then Nemesis goes again, but there's nothing on the... Oh, and 1 Fury token goes away. So this is the problem with Rageborne, is once you get... There's no real way to eliminate Fury tokens. So once you get up to 4, like, he just sits right at 3. And he's always right there ready to strike the whole game. And there really isn't anything you can do about it. All right. Cleave. Rageborne strikes. So, new strike card. Gravehold suffers 3 damage, bringing it to 27. Any player suffers 1. Kadir is going to take that. Now, the good news is, because he actually... I'm going to eat my words of what I was just talking about. But because he just struck, that does still eliminate a Fury token. So now he's down to 2. That is the only way I've seen his Fury token count go down. It will never go lower than 2, and that was actually pretty lucky. So, yeah, that's the one little respite that I get. Okay. And we're going with Lash last. So he's going to cast Spark, bring Rageborne down to 57. I'm going to use Flexing Dagger, which will focus my 3rd breach. And then I'm going to generate 5 power. And with 5 power, I'll grab a Mage's Talisman. I need to start getting some charges somewhere. I didn't grab any Ignites yet. It's still going to be a while before I get any special abilities off. But so his next turn, actually, here's 7 power right there and a Spark. So that is not too shabby. So overall, I think that's basically the end of... Huh. Did I screw that up? Yeah, I did. That's a power 2 card. Mixed into the tier 1s. So I must have screwed up on the shuffle there somehow. I thought that was a little strong. When I took that 5 damage hit, I was like, oh, that's a little rough. So early. But whatever. I'm about to enter tier 2, I believe. Tier 2 cards. And we'll see. But I feel pretty good. This has gone a lot better than my previous games. I'm not saying I'm going to win. But, you know, I still got at least 50-50 odds, I'd say. Gravehold's got almost full life. Kadir's got 7. Lash has got 5. I do have a heal. Rageborne only has 2 Fury tokens, and I got him down 13 points to 57. And I got some decent spells in the works, so we'll see. All right, Kadir's going to go first. We're going to cast Spectral Echo. That's going to deal 2 damage, bring the Rageborne to 55. And that's going to allow me to destroy this crystal. No. I will... Oh, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'll get rid of the crystal. That's fine. Spectral Echo is going to get prepped, as well as Spark. And then I'm going to use Emerald Shard to heal 1 point of life for Lash. The last Spark just gets held on to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then I get 3 crystals and a Searing Ruby for her next turn. Lash is going to go next, though. He's going to prep a Spark. And he's going to generate 6 power here. Court Shard is 7. Nemesis card, so I get to put that on the bottom. That's still 7 power, though. So for 7 power, I'm going to take an Ignite. And a Spectral Echo. Yeah. Let me grab some more Flexing Daggers. Next turn, Spectral Echo, 3 crystals, and a Spark. Nemesis goes next, though. Provoker. So Provoker is a minion. It's the first minion I've seen. And still tier 1. So yeah, I must have screwed up big time. 5 life. Persistent. Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of fairy tokens Rageborne has. So that would be 2. So I want to take that guy out. All right, Lash is going to go next. He's going to cast Spark, dealing 1 damage to the Provoker, bringing it down to 4 life. Get my little life tokens. There we go. Okay. He's then going to prep Spectral Echo, Spark, and generate 3 power. Yeah. Buy another Spectral Echo, the last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. I like curating my deck. All right. Kadir next. She is going to cast Spark and Spectral Echo. That does 3 damage to the Provoker, bringing it down to 1. Also lets me destroy a card in hand. I'm going to destroy the Spark this time. So then I have 3 crystals and a ruby. That's 5 power, 6 towards a spell. She's going to grab an Ignite and a Flexing Dagger. I was debating whether to grab the Chaos Arc. But right now it's just a 3 damage spell. I mean, technically it could be 5. So, yeah, I guess, no, next time. I want that utility. Can't help myself. So her next hand is going to be a Spark, Amplify Vision, 2 crystals, and a Bristwood. Nemesis is going to go next, though. So first we use the Provoker. He's going to do 2 damage to Gravehold. Let me draw a card. Unleash. Gravehold suffers 3 damage. So Gravehold drops to 22. And Rageborne goes back up to 3 Fury tokens. Okay. So now I'm definitely done with Tier 1. Still feeling pretty good. Gravehold took some damage. Players are still okay. 7 life, 6 life. Gravehold's down 22. I'd feel better if I had Focusing Orbs. Which would probably... I almost feel like if this doesn't... This is kind of the offensive mages. And this is just kind of a generalist store. Because of Rageborne's strike deck, I almost feel like going defensive is the best way to go. So if I lose this game, I think I'm going to do that next time and take the Smith guy who can like negate Nemesis turns, and the Brahma, the healer. She can heal 4 life at a time. All right, so Kadir's going to go next. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. I was wondering, why doesn't she have any spells prepped? Because I eliminated the Spark. Okay. Prep Spark, Prep Amplify Vision. She generates 4 power. Ruby. Okay. See, this is why I went for the Ruby. Her next hand has 4 spells in it with an Emerald Charm. She has a little bit too many spells. I need to... Probably should have just grabbed like 2 Flexing Daggers. But whatever. That's fine. Okay, Nemesis next. Gravehold activates, Provoker acts again, dealing 3 damage this time to Gravehold, bringing it to 19. Then we draw a card. Blood Cry. To discard, lose 4 charges. I have 0 right now. Power 2, unleash 4 times. So that's not good. I need to get rid of that. Look like a Mage's Talisman right here. Okay. Provoker does 3 damage again to Gravehold. So I thought this guy wasn't that big of a deal, but he's messing me up. Take a charge off of Blood Cry, and we get another minion. Scorn, 9 life. Persistent. Gravehold suffers 3 damage, or unleash twice. So that's really bad. I need to get rid of all 3 of these cards, like right away. Good news is, these are all player activations, so let's see what we can do. All right, Lash first. He gets Spark and Spectral Echo. Spark is going to kill the Provoker, dealing 1 damage. Yep. Yeah, that goes back up here. Spectral Echo is going to deal 2 to Scorn, bringing her down to 7. And that allows me to destroy a card. I will destroy a Spark. I will then use Flexing Dagger to focus 3rd Breach. I will use Mage's Talisman to generate a charge for each mage. And then I will use the 2 power from these last 2 crystals to buy another charge. Lash's next hand will be a crystal, a Vristwood, an Ignite, Spectral Echo, and a Jade. Kadir goes first, though. She's going to cast Amplify, Vision, and Spark. That's going to deal 3 damage to the Scorn, bringing her down to 4 life. She will then prep. Oh, and Amplify Vision also focuses her 3rd Breach, which is perfect because I have 3 spells I want to put up. 2 Spectral Echoes and an Amplify Vision. I will hold on to this last Spark, and then she will use the crystal to give 1 life to Lash. So they both have 7 now. And Lash is going next. He's going to prep, Ignite, and Spectral Echo, and then generate 5 power between the Crystal, Vristwood, and the Jade. So I'm going to... Normally I would buy a Mage's Talisman right now if it wasn't for this. So I'm going to buy a Vristwood. I'm going to buy a charge. And then I'm going to use all 4 charges to eliminate Blood Cry. Just get rid of that. I do not want to mess with that. Now it'll end Lash's turn. 4. And his next turn, he's going to have 2 Vristwoods, a Jade, Court Shard, and a Spark. So now I'm at about half life on Gravehold. Little over half life on the players. Haven't done much damage to Rageborne last couple of rounds. But I got 5 spells prepped, although they're all 2 damage. But still, hey, that's 10 damage on deck. And Lash is going first. Perfect. So Ignite and Spectral Echo will kill Scorn. So she never got to activate. That is awesome. And then the 2 abilities there. I'm going to use Spectral Echo to destroy Spark. And Ignite is going to grant Kadir Charge. And then we generate 6 power here. Court Shard reveals turn order deck. It's a Nemesis card. We're going to put that on the bottom. So that's 7 power. So I'm going to grab a Mage's Talisman and a Flexing Dagger. Next turn, Spectral Echo, 3 crystals, and a Spark. About to draw her next cards. Spark, Ignite, Flexing Dagger, 2 crystals. And she gets to go. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cast all 3. That's going to do 6 damage, dropping the Rageborne to 49. I think this might be the most damage I've done in Rageborne, period. Also lets me destroy 2 cards. I'm going to destroy 2 crystals. And the Amplified Vision is going to focus my lowest breach, which is my third. So that has opened my third breach. I am then going to prep, ignite, and spark. I can't do anything with the Flexing Dagger unless I destroy it. Yeah, I'll just destroy it and do 1 damage. Get rid of it. Destroy it. The reason I'm okay with her doing that is because she has like 3 Amplify Visions already. At least 2. And I only need 2 uses of it to fully open that 4th breach. So she doesn't really need the Flexing Daggers the same way that Lash does. I don't believe he has any Amplify Visions. And her next turn is going to be 2 Searing Rubies and 3 Crystals. But Lash is going to go next. He's going to prep Spectral Echo and a Spark and generate 3 power. So the only efficient use of 3 power is Verswood. Because I bought all the Spectral Echoes. I do like Verswoods. So his next turn, a Verswood, Mage's Talisman, Spectral Echo, Flexing Dagger, and a Crystal. Not terrible. Nemesis, nothing on the board, luckily. All right, Dispel, unleash twice. The player with the most prep spells discards their most expensive prep spell. So I get to choose Spectral Echo. I guess. And unleashes twice. So that brings him to 5 Fury tokens. So he's going to strike twice. Greyfold suffers 3 damage, dropping it to 13. Any player suffers 1. Kadir is going to drop to 6. That eliminates 1. And the players collectively discard the 2 most expensive prep spells. So that's Ignite. And we'll just get rid of that Spark. So that did discard my spells, but you know what? As far as strikes go, that wasn't that bad. Rageborne's back down to 3 Fury tokens. He's got nothing on the board. No minions. No powers charging. It's not the end of the world. Alright. Kadir goes next. She's got no spells prepped anymore, but she can generate 7 power, 9 towards a spell. So I gotta go with Chaos Arc and Verswood. This should be a Nemesis turn. Her next coming up is 2 Verswoods, a Spark, Amplify Vision, and an Emerald Shard. So Nemesis, again, nothing on the board. Venomite, 9 life, persistent. The player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, or any player discards a prep spell, costs 3 or more. That's not the worst card I could have drawn. I feel like 9 life is manageable at this point too, even though I have only 1 damage spell prepped. That's not the worst ability when it activates. I can handle that activating, 2 times or so without it causing too much trouble. Where it gets messy is when it starts discarding your cards, your spell cards, and you get other minions out there, and then you just don't have the firepower to deal with them. All right, Lash going first. 1 damage to the Venomite. And then I'm going to prep Spectral Echo. Use Flexing Dagger to focus his third breach. Mage's Talisman is going to generate a charge for each mage. And then I can generate 3 power to buy another Vrisswood, the last Vrisswood. So it's the last time I can do that. And his next turn is going to be 2 Vrisswoods, a Jade, and 2 Crystals. So that is 8 power. He's going to be his next turn. Nemesis goes next. I'll take the 2 damage. That doesn't worry me that much right now. Oh, and we get a Cauterizer. 3 life. He only can take 1 damage from spells, so you actually have to attack him 3 times. And any player suffers damage equals to his current life every time he gets a activation. All right. Okay, Lash first. So Spectral Echo, deal 2 damage. I'm going to destroy a card in hand, so I'm going to destroy a crystal. That 2 damage is going to go to the Venomite. And then he's going to generate 7 power using his 2 Vrisswoods, Jade, and Crystal. He's going to take a Mage's Talisman and a Flexing Dagger. Look at how thick this is. So many cards. So I'm pretty much at the point now where I'm going to start just buying charges for both characters. I think. I might, and maybe a Chaos Arc for each of them. And everything else is pretty much done with. All right, Kadir's next. We're going to prep Amplify Vision and Spark. She can generate 4 power, or 5 power, or 4 and a life. So she's going to do 4 and a life. And how do I want to divide up the 4? I'm going to take Ignite. Her next turn is 5 spells. Amplify Vision, 2 Spectral Echoes, Ignite, and Spark. Look at this hand. Crazy, huh? All right, and she does get to go next. That's sweet. So the Spark's going to do 1 to the Cauterizer. The 2 is going to do 1 to the Cauterizer as well. And that's going to focus her 4th breach. So all 4 of those are open now. And she's going to prep Amplify Vision, 2 Spectral Echoes, and Ignite. She's going to hold on to the Spark. 1, 2, 3, 4. And her next turn, Chaos Arc, 2 Searing Rubies, and a Crystal. And Nemesis goes next. So I will discard a Spectral Echo to cancel out the Venomite. The Cauterizer is going to deal 1 damage to Lash. So I pretty much negated both of those pretty well. And then let's see what he gets. Unleash twice, and Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Or place the most recently discarded minion back in my play. So Scorn is going to come back. So this is kind of the make or break of the game, I think, coming up. Can I clear the board without getting my butt kicked in this next round? If I can clear the board without taking any more damage and, you know, maybe get my special abilities up, then I'm in a good place. But if not, I think that's going to be game. If Scorn gets to activate twice, I'm going to be in trouble. There's no way around that. So, come on, turn order card magic. Oop. I didn't even, you may have saw that on camera, but I did not. So, let's see. Okay, Lash. You got nothing prepped. I'm going to prep Spectral Echo and Ignite. Flexing Dagger. It's going to open his third breach. Actually, going to slide Ignite right over to that. Mage's Talisman is going to generate a charge for each of them. So at least we're getting in the ballpark. And Quartz Shard. 1 power or 2 power. So 2 power. So I'm going to use that to buy another charge for Lash. And I happen to know he's going next. So that's not so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And his next turn order cards. 2 Vrisswoods, a Jade, and 2 Crystals. So that's what, 8 power. And it is Lash's turn. So I'm going to cast the Spectral Echo, deal 2 damage, and kill the Cauterizer. Take him off the board. So I do waste 1 point there. I'm going to destroy a crystal with that. And then I'm going to cast Ignite against the Venomite. And that's going to deal 3 damage because it's off of the 3rd breach. Bringing Venomite down to 3. But it also grants a charge to Kadir, which is awesome. And I still have 7 power. I don't see any point to doing that, so I'm going to buy 2 charges. And I'm going to activate his special ability, Quicken Thought, which allows me to take this 2 card, shuffle it back in to the turn order deck. So hopefully the turn order magic is still going strong. Get rid of these. And I did have a total of 7 power, so I'm going to use the remaining 3 to buy 1 additional charge. So getting ready for him to activate it again. That does cost him 1 life though. So he does drop down to 4. At the very least, it gives him another activation at some point this round. Yeah, he does go next. 3 in a row. Wow, I don't think I've ever had a mage go 3 in a row before. All right. Not the best hand, but I will prep Spectral Echo and Spark. Mage's Talisman generates a charge for each. Flexing Dagger and Crystal I will use to focus my 4th breach. So I was going to use Kadir's ability, but he only has two spells in his discard pile. So I'm going to hold off. I mean, she's even got 3. And she's about to have 6. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. Okay. So his next turn, Spectral Echo, 3 Vrisswoods, and a Crystal. That'll be enough for him to charge up his special ability again. All right. Kadir's going next. So, that's okay. I will use Ignite and Spectral Echo. It's going to do 4 damage and kill the Venomite. It's also going to allow me to destroy Crystal and grant a charge to Lash. Bring him up to 3. Amplify Vision. I'm going to cast that, deal 2 damage to Scorn. Bring her down to 7. And that's going to open my 4th breach. So all of her breaches are now open. And I'm going to prep Chaos Arc and Spark. And now I'm going to activate her special ability. May return up to 3 cards. So I'm going to grab 2 Amplified Visions and an Ignite. Amplify Vision, Ignite, Amplify Vision. And because you can prep them to multiples, like that. And then I can still generate 4 power or 6 for a spell. So I will take another Chaos Arc. Her deck is significantly smaller than Lash's. All right, how's that for a turn? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 Vrisswoods, 2 Crystals, and Ignite. And who's going next? Nemesis. Okay, so Scorn does finally activate. Gravehold suffers 3 damage or unleash twice. I'm going to take 3 damage on Gravehold because it's 2 strikes are more likely going to deal a lot worse than that. All right. And get a draw. Pulverizing Ray, power 1. Gravehold suffers 18 damage, which would kill me. The players may collectively discard up to 6 gems. For each gem discarded this way, prevent 3 of that damage. So I don't like how this one is set up. I mean, it's fine. But like, for example, right now I have 8 gems. I cannot discard these to just discard this card. I have to wait till it activates. Which, you know, I have 3 crystals on the board right now, so that's really annoying. But it is what it is. Okay. Kadir. All right. This is a power turn. Let's see what we can do. So there's 7 life on the Scorn. All of these get +1. So this is going to deal 4 damage. That's 2. This is 3. So let's just start with that. Amplify Vision is going to do 4 damage. +1 for all 4 breaches being open. +1 for the 4th breach. Ignite is going to do 3. 2 +1 for the 3rd breach. That's 7. And that kills Scorn. That also generates 1 charge for Lash, who is up to 4 charges. Interesting. If I could get off another Ignite or a Mage's Token, I could activate his special ability right now, even though it's on Kadir's turn. Give Kadir another turn. Whew. That would be sexy. Anyway. So this Amplify Vision is going to do 3 damage. This Spark is going to do 1. And this Chaos Arc is going to do 8. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 on the Spark. Is that right? 3, 5, 7, 8. So 8, 2, that's 10 plus 3. So 13 damage. Wow. Bringing Rageborne down to 35. I have got him to half health. First time I've done that on Expert, for sure. All right, I'm going to prep Ignite. And then this is going to generate 6 power. I'm going to buy 3 focus tokens. their special abilities are so much stronger than cards. It's the way to go. Okay, Nemesis is going to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. First thing that happens is Pulverizing Ray. I'm going to discard these 5 gems. That drops Pulverizing Ray's damage to 3. It still does 3 damage, drops Gravehold to 7. I could lose at any time. 7 is quite a bit. And his new draw, I am officially in tier 3. This is when I lose the game, typically. Unleash twice. The player with the most open breaches destroys 4 cards in hand or suffers 4 damage. Wow. Yeah, that may have just lost me the game. Okay. So Kandir can take 4 damage or destroy the 4 spell cards in her hand. And literally not have a hand for her next turn. I'll take the 4 damage. That's annoying. And now he's going to strike twice. Oops, I didn't mean to shuffle for that. Gravehold takes 5 damage, drops it to 2 life. Gets rid of 1 Fury token. Okay. Moment of truth. The player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage. Still bad. That kills or exhausts Kadir. Eviscerate. So I gotta shuffle this back in. So that means this Ignite gets discarded. Her first breach gets destroyed. She's gonna lose all of her charges. And anytime, if she suffers any damage, that damage gets doubled and applied to Gravehold. So literally, if she took 1 point of damage, I would lose the game. But I still have Lash. He has 4 hit points. If he loses all of his points, I also lose the game. So really, what this is going to come down to now is, do I have enough firepower to do 35 points of damage in the next round-ish? I need to get lucky to beat this. I don't like my chances, maybe 10%. But we're going to start with Lash. He's going to cast his 2 spells. This does 3 damage, this does 1. That's going to do 4 damage, dropping Rageborne to 31. He's then going to prep Spectral Echo, and that ends his turn. He had no cards. He only had 1 card in hand because he had to discard those gems to stop the Pulverizing Ray. So his next turn, Mage's Talisman, Crystal, Jade, 2 Flexing Daggers. And Nemesis goes. Nothing on the board. Man, it's annoying. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Lash on this. He shuffles his deck. Four. 2 Verswoods, Quartz Shard, and Crystal all get destroyed. Then unleash twice. That's going to be 2 strikes. I don't see how I survive this unless I get the luck. I don't need to do that. Gravefold suffers 5 damage. I lost. Next card. Any player suffers 4 damage. I lost. Both of these are game killers. All right. So I didn't win. That said, went a lot better. I still like these 2 mages. I think I'm going to swap them out. And I am going to change the store a little bit. I didn't really use the Searing Rubies nearly as much as I thought I would. I think what I'm going to do is swap out Mage's Talisman. I'm going to swap out Mage's Talisman for Focusing Orb. Searing Ruby for the Sapphire. So Sapphire will help me get charges. Focusing Orb will be how I... I'll probably get rid of the Jade too. Jade and Flexing Dagger. And pop in the Unstable Prism, which will help you get rid of crystals and all that. I'll keep Ignite and Amplify Vision for sure. Those are both awesome. Spectral Echo, I may swap out for something. I like Chaos Arc too. I think I'm going to keep that too. And I'm thinking I might... These mages are good. I think I might switch them to just be a little bit more healy. And give that a try, especially with the Focusing Orb. I can definitely open up my breaches with Focusing Orb and Amplify Vision, but then I can also use the Focusing Orbs to generate life for Gravefold. So using them in combination works really well. Oh, maybe I'll do Focusing Orb and Mage's Talisman. Yeah. That's what I'll do. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I hope you had fun watching the video. I hope the dogs didn't bother you too much. Yeah, I know. Anyway, if you made it this far, I mean, you're the absolute best. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you. And please just leave me a comment below. Let me know what you like. If you hate my guts, whatever, just let me hear something from you. Appreciate you. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.